think you can zoom in when you're videotaping. Okay? Alright, so I have my clay. The first thing I'm going to do is roll out my slab. And what I'm going for is I'm going to make this design. Okay, everybody? See, that's my finished piece. And the goal for today would only be to get your initial shape done. Alex, are you paying attention? You're going to be on my videotape now for all posterity. Because I'm still watching you. Every one of you. Okay, I'm rolling it and I'm turning it over and over and over. Okay, stretching the clay evenly. You know, not too much on one side versus the other. That's another reason why I keep turning it. And I want to make it as big as this shape. This is my template that I'm using for my first shape. What's up, Zach? What are we talking about? Try to not talk right now. Okay? Okay, I am stretching it, and I do see one little tiny air bubble that I didn't get out. But I have my tools. I have my needle tool. I can just get that out, press it out, and continue. Okay, now I know. They have a couple more. That my shape, my slab is big enough to fit my shape on it. So I take my shape, my template, put it on, and cut my shape out. Now, speaking of shapes, some shapes are better than others in terms of their functionality. I wouldn't have chosen something like this octopus right here. Does anybody know why in terms of the functionality?
Its ends would be brittle.
Yeah, you get these little tentacles sticking out, and that's not very useful, plus they have a tendency to break off. So I have my fish, my initial shape cut out. Now is the time, because it's in the plastic stage, to add texture. So I've already experimented. I have some idea of what my repertoire is here. And I might just roll this a little bit. This is where I can have some fun adding a little texture into my design. And again, this is going to make it really look good when I fire it. Using a couple of different things that I have, bring some texture in. Can't find my spirally thing. Bummer. I'll have to improvise. Maybe I'll use this just for fun. This doesn't really go with the fish, but I think, you know, the more variety you have, the better. This is a roller. I could roll this in, but I can also use that, so I use that for the eye. There we go. And I'm using the side of this to create sort of scales. Which way did I do it? This way. And all of this is done at this stage. If I wasn't sure, I could use my scrap clay over here, and I could practice in it. I could go over here and see how it looks before I work on my piece. Now, because I'm prepared and because I have my idea all set, this is not taking forever and a day. But please don't get discouraged if you have a little bit of trouble at first, because it takes a little practice with the slab and whatnot.
Can we make one that big? Or
can you make what?
Can we make one that big, or does it have to be like this
No, it
size?
can be that big. So now I have, this is the other thing that you guys are going to slump the clay, which means we're going to put it into a form, because right now it exists flat, and I want to give it a little bit of body so that eventually I can use it as a shallow dish. So I put it inside that, and automatically I have some body in it. And then I can also beef it up if I want to in certain areas with a little additional padding. This is a little bit too much. If I wanted to make this hold up a little bit more and sort of mold it into place. Now my analogy is a starfish, and I just happen to have this pin, which is a found object that was left here, and it actually made my life very simple. So to cut my shape, I just use my scrap material, roll it out, I press in my texture, cut it out. I'm going to do this really. And I can do several of these and make it a little bit of added relief. Or if I was going to do something like the bird, and I had Cooper's little sculpture up here, yeah. It's right here.
Rush it.
Okay, it fell off because he didn't score it. One thing I want to tell you though, if you're going to make a form, don't try to make all these little things and attach them. The best way to make a small form is to work within, okay? What are you in competition?
No.
Oh, all right. Because it'd be a pretty close call.
Yeah.
So I'd want to make a turtle with pulling out from the clay body rather than trying to stick little pieces on, because those would fall off. You can shut it off.